Welcome back. We are gearing up for Game 3 at Eden Park, Australia, taking on Tonga Invitational. What a match this is going to be. The last match of the year for Australia. Welcome back to Mick, Brandy and to Corey. The interesting thing here is going to be how Tonga perform after that win against GB last week, and particularly through the middle of the field. They were so dominant. Taukiaho, brilliant. Taumalolo, brilliant, Corey.
Yeah, they certainly were. I mean, Takiaho led the team very well, up over 200 run metres, and will have to do it again, along with his teammates. But we touched on it a bit earlier. The bench is so important to keep that momentum going. It's going to be a fast start from Australia, and we can see some of the scenes there. The crowd has been building all day. It should be an absolute cracker.
I think the bench with Tavita Pangai and Joe Ofahengaue really adds some muscle towards this Tongan forward pack, and so too being able to handle the Australian bench in terms of Payne Haas and Paul Vaughan. Brendy touched on how good they were last week. I like that. I like Pangai and Ofahengaue and what they can bring. Throw in Andrew Fafita. It's a solid bench. Yeah, when you have a look at the forwards, the middle players for the Tongans, like the tackle-busting, offloading players that they have, Infanua Blake, Andrew Fafita, Jason Taumalolo, it's a huge challenge for the Australian middles to contain them and then allow their, the brilliance of Tedesco and Cook to shine. But that's the challenge for the Australians, to match them physically.
Match them physically, try and somehow nullify that second phase play that we saw from Tonga last week. Let's go to our callers for this evening. It is Steve Blocker-Roach, Braithen Astor, and good evening to you, Warren Smith.
Yes, thank you, Matt. The final game of a triple header from Eden Park, live on Fox League, and what a showdown it promises to be between the Kangaroos and Tonga Invitational. After much back and forth politically in Tonga, this will be an official test and qualifies as the second fully fledged meeting between the two nations after Australia got the better of Tonga 34-16 at Mount Smart Stadium last year. Both teams, gentlemen, were in good form last weekend. The Kangaroos too good for New Zealand. The comfortable 26-4 win in Wollongong, while the Tonga Invitational team pulled off an upset against the touring Great Britain Lions at Waikato Stadium 14-6. In the process scored what was easily the most incredible try we've seen in 2019. This could be a beauty.
Certainly should be, and that try was one of the best Tonga Invitational. So much flair. We just spoke about their second phase play, their ability to offload and then play off the back of that. Their spine, obviously, the 1, 6 and 7, isn't, I suppose, up to the standards or level of Australia, with Tedesco and Cook in there in 1 and 9, who were fantastic last week. So it's a huge task for Tonga Invitational Blocker, but they've got a big chance.
Well, the big thing about this, Braith, is you know where the Tongas are going to come, right through the middle. You can steel yourself, if you're one of the Australian forwards, to take them on. First 20 minutes is going to tell me the story. Whether the Australians are up for it, I think they will be.
They make their way down the tunnel, having made 3 changes to the team that beat Great Britain last week. Tony Staggs, Tavita Pangai, Joe Ofahengaue into the team. And listen to this reception as they make their way onto the famous Eden Park. It was quiet at this venue earlier in the day as Fiji were far too good for Samoa. Things built certainly as New Zealand hung on in a fairly dour game against Great Britain, but boy, it is off the charts, the atmosphere suddenly, as the famous red of Tonga, this Tonga Invitational team, as it is known for this match against the Kangaroos. And it's a team that features 3 players who have played for the Kangaroos in Michael Jennings, Daniel Tupou and Andrew Fafita. A little bit of extra motivation for that trio.
Without doubt. Taumalolo looking for a big game, very focused, as you can see the look in their eyes, that steely look from the Tongans. They're fired up, and so are the crowd. What a great opportunity it is to come up against the best side in the world.
Yeah, there's plenty of pressure on the Tongans too. They want to be in the Tier 1 in the competition in International Rugby League. The Tongans have got to steel themselves for 80 minutes. That's the big thing against Australia. You can't afford to be patchy.
Here are the national anthems.
Australia's all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our in history's page. Let every stage advance Australia fair in joyful strains, and let us sing advance Australia fair.
The transformation in this stadium with the red flags coming out. It's amazing what's happened in the last half an hour or so since the test between New Zealand and Great Britain finished. And there's more to come off the back of the anthem.
Can't wait for this, Was. The atmosphere here is unbelievable, and there is more to come. I love this part.
Australia will line up. I don't know if there'll be a flying V as there was for England versus New Zealand at the Rugby World Cup in Japan last week. But the Australians will face the Sippy Tau, the Tongan war dance. And the Tongan fans last week already in fine voice during the anthem, breaking out during the game against Great Britain in Waikato last week. Spontaneous hymns, and I'm sure we'll hear more of that here against the Australians tonight. Let's pause for the moment, though. Silver Havili and Connie Hurrell out in front of the Sippy Tau, and now we are ready for some football.
If that doesn't fire you up, nothing will block her.
Makes the heart race a little bit, doesn't it, eh?
Doesn't it?
You don't know where to look.
Yeah, it's not often that you when you retire that you miss the game as much as what you do when you witness something like this. Before a big game, it brings back a lot of memories, and you just want to get out there and play.
Don't forget your watch.
This is what it's all about.
Well, they'll be stirring themselves for the first 20 minutes, the Aussies. No doubt about that. Mal Meninga would have spoken to his side about that. We need to set the authority in the middle of the ruck, the middle third. Let's see if we can take them on.
The coach said in the lead-up to the game this week, fear of failure continues to drive us as Kangaroos. And, boy, fear comes in many shapes and sizes when you're taking on the Tongan forward pack. It's an all-star cast. Andrew Fafita once again coming off the bench, named in the starting side, but Adam Fanua-Blake moves into a starting role. It'll be Tonga to get things underway. Australia has Cameron Murray on debut, coming off the bench. Kangaroo number 382. The kickoff goes down towards Daly Cherry Evans. He'll let it bounce away. Good result here for Tonga, and bringing it out, it'll be Josh Papali, who somehow was past fit to play last week against New Zealand at Wynn Stadium. Got through that game unscathed. Was terrific for the Kangaroos once again, who brought it out there on plane number 1. David Clemmer hit a good tackle. Siwa Taukeiaho, outstanding in the win against Great Britain last week. Led them in tackles and also metres, running in excess of 200 for the Tonga Invitational team last week. Cherry Evans, the kick here from inside the 30. Good defensive set from Tonga initially here. Will Hopewadi in the fullback row tonight after playing in the halves last week on one side of the field with Tui Lola here on the other side of the field. Tonight it's Tony Staggs wearing jumper 21, who plays his second test for Tonga. Lola here comes across to David Fusitu'a, who will work it forward here and play it just inside Australian territory. And I would imagine they wouldn't have too many issues, Tonga, working it down the field, but what can they do when they get chances inside the red zone? Taukeiaho playing it. It comes back here to Fanua-Blake, met there by Travojevic around the legs. Over the top was Josh Papali. Come to the left-hand side, and Staggs will put it in the air. Some pressure here on Nick Kotrick, standing underneath it. What a tackle! Coming through, Michael Jennings cleaned him up and took him into touch.
Oh, what a shot here from Jennings on Jack White, and just gave him no chance. Takes him over the sideline in goal area. Beautiful kick. And it's been the perfect start from Tongan Invitational side. It's been physical, but it's been controlled and very disciplined. Couldn't ask for a better start.
Well, Braith, that's what we were going to talk about before the game, the kicking game. Trying to put it on a dime there. Kotrick, under all sorts of pressure, takes it beautifully. Jennings was a superstar for Tonga last week, and that's a great start for him.
Let's go, Tonga.
An ambush there, wasn't he, Kotrick? Really had no chance. It was the perfect kick and the perfect chase from Jennings.
The Kangaroos are looking to take the crowd out of the equation. That play right there has got them on their feet and screaming. So a chance inside the red zone for the boys in red. Tonga deep on the attack here. Comes to Siwa Taukeiaho. Comes it away there from Frizzell, and also Cherry Evans within range of the line. The first attacking chance for either team is Avili. Goes to Tamalolo, putting some footwork there on Travojevic and also Clemmer. Avili comes to the left-hand side. Here is Staggs, better known as a centre for the Brisbane Broncos. Enjoying from the Wellington Cowboys in New South Wales on a big stage here tonight. Avili back to the middle of the park. Fanua-Blake just takes them on. They've used up 5, and they have one more play remaining in this set. Goes across to Lola here, out the back. Hopewadi pushes away from Munster, under pressure there. Hopewadi over the top, reaching out. Fusitu'a put it down, but the pass has been called forward.
Yeah, close call here. They have judged the pass from Hopewadi to go forward out of the hands to Fusitu'a, who did an amazing job. Not sure if he gets the ball down anyway. We'll see here. Lola here throws the pass, 5th tackle. Doesn't even think about kicking Hopewadi. Nice fend on Munster. Throws it over the top. I think it may have just gone forward. What about the finish?
Well, they're great at absorbing pressure, aren't they? And they've been put under some pressure early in this game, the Australians.
Great
The last
defence,
tackle
wasn't a block.
it
Great
was.
defence.
He started the game well too, Latrell Mitchell. He had to turn around and chase to make that tackle in the corner. And the Aussies with the footy now.
A real scare for the Kangaroos early on. Clemmer. Get back to his feet. A sloppy play, the ball play on, says Jared Sutton. Of course, just the one referee in action here tonight for an international. The kick goes down to Daniel Tupou. What a star in 2019 he was for the Roosters. Up against Boyd Cordner, especially tonight. Michael Jennings. Bring it back here. Playing for Stags at dummy half. Olahia, good run. Tipping it on. Fusatua coming in for a carry and just about split them as well.
Yeah, one marker there. Olahia takes advantage. Dominating field position at the moment and on the attack.
Conrad Hurrell. Play it here for Havili. Back to Fanua Blake. Plenty of metres after contact there and the stop of Clemmer and also Cook, but he tried to push it. Knocked it on. Papali rather cleans it up. And it's the Kangaroos to work it away.
Well, we know they've got to be selective, but the Tongans, we know they've got to try and force their hand to try and get that second phase play. But the impossible ball, 3 in the tackle that time, the Australians clean it up.
Josh Adokar, one of 5 players to make his Kangaroos debut last week in that win over New Zealand. Kotrick in the same boat as well. Cameron Murray will be added to that list here tonight when he comes off the bench. We'll see how long it is before Mal Meninga injects him into the game. Clemmer playing it from Cook. Flat ball there to Trbojevic. Comes through the arms there of Munster and now to Tedesco, one of the try scorers last week. 25 metres out from the Tonga invitational line as Cook heads across to Frizzell. Runs towards Stags. Good tackle by the man playing in the halves tonight, but wearing jumper 21. Cook. Cherry Evans, Grubbers in behind them. Jennings under pressure there with Whiten coming through, but he did well to clean it up. And Tonga have hung on. They'll go to work from inside their own 10.
Yeah, good work there from Jennings. Probably not the best kick from Cherry Evans, but still putting pressure on the Tongan invitational side at their first opportunity down this end of the field, the Aussies.
And it's Manu Ma'u. He'll be joining the Super League ranks in 2020, off to play with Hull FC. He finished his time with the Eels. Of course, Michael Jennings expected to re-sign with the Eels. The days ahead, but still nothing doing there for Michael Jennings. He's made a bright start to this game, though, for Tonga tonight. Lola here with the kick. Did most of the kicking last week. We'll see how much Stags and Havili can do. Perhaps some dummy half as well. A chance there for Hurrell. Looked like he was ripped that away from Tedesco, who did well to hang on to it. Here is Latrell Mitchell. Going back to the middle of the field. Well, last week, a long run to set up Josh Adokar for the Kangaroos' first try of the game against the run of play as Cherry Evans tips it on. Nick Kotrick coming in for a carry. And back in Tonga territory here is Cook. Finds Trbojevic at the line, gives it to Munster. Corner into half a gap, closed there by Lola here. Good tackle by the 5'8" around the legs. Munster jumping out of dummy half. Cherry Evans keeps it alive. Papali for Frizzell. Whiten back on the inside. Frizzell still going. Kotrick nowhere to go. Runs towards Hopewadi, but he went close. Only a metre out when he's taken down here. One more play for Australia. Whiten fires it to Cherry Evans, a grubber, played out by Hopewadi, who had to dive to bring it back and did well.
It's a gutsy effort, isn't it? It was a great kick in the in-goal area. Hopewadi had to somehow get himself back in the field of play to give his team a chance, and he did it. Munster, great run from dummy half too, man down from the Tongans, and here's a man that set up nearly the try.
That was a huge play from Hopewadi, who had to help with the tackle on Kotrick, who nearly scored the try, then readjust and get back to cover that kick from Cherry Evans. It was a huge play from Hopewadi.
Boy, he put his body on the line and might have paid a price as well. You saw him limping in the background there as Tonga worked it away from their own end, and they get some help here for a penalty And the play the ball by the Kangaroos.
Well, this is a godsend. They really needed this, the Tongan side. A lot of pressure, that last set of 6 from the Aussies. Here it is here, Hopewadi just readjusting. It was a nice kick, good hands. That was going to stay in the in-goal area and just desperately gets into the field of play. Does Hopewadi. Big set of 6 here for the Tongans to try and regain ascendancy. Lawler here is going to have a lot of pressure on him tonight. With Katoni Staggs in the side, a lot of the onus is on him and his kicking game and his organisation.
Wait for the foot. Hold. Go, play on.
So far, so good for that man Lawler here as far as the field position is concerned for them. We'll see if they can get some off the back of this.
It's a huge advantage. When you're under the pump, you get a second tackle penalty. You get you off your own line. They're up over the halfway line now, nearly on the 40.
Josh, out of there. Tyson. Make it.
Taumaloa play it here just inside the Australian 40. Havili goes across to Lawler here, back on the inside for Ben Murdoch-Masilla, the former Tiger and Panther, who's been in the UK for some 4 seasons now. Now Hopewadi up on the inside for Manu Ma'u, runs towards Cook, ball out the back, cleaned up by Staggs. Goes right at Cherry Evans immediately and has it here just outside the Kangaroos 20. Havili one way, then back to the open side. Taukeiaho finds a big rainbow ball over the top. He's still going. Had them under pressure. Jake Travojevic did well. Taukeiaho takes it inside the 10. Last play, Hopewadi for Havili. Lawler here. Another kick towards the corner. Adokar waiting underneath it for Satua. A noted leaper was there. It comes though to Mitchell, who's away. Lawler is there in cover. Tedesco back on the inside. Stops, finds space. Eventually wrapped up by Hopewadi.
What about the counter-attack there? As soon as Latrell Mitchell got the ball, the alarm bells are ringing for the Tongan side, but the kick from Lawler here was a beauty. Fusatua nearly catches it, he scores.
Well, Mitchell was trying to find his man, Adokar. They get a penalty, the Australians. They had to scramble that time after a little bit of a long-range break that time. Here it is. Mitchell gets the football, scoots up that left-hand side. He's trying to find Adokar here. Have a look at him. Great scramble here from the Tongans.
What about Tedesco footwork right here? Just zooms in between defenders. Makes it look easy.
He changes gears so rapidly, stops, starts, goes sideways, puts the foot down, finds space. It's remarkable to watch. No Clemmer. The Australians threatened to open the try scoring in a similar fashion to what they did last week between Mitchell and Adokar, but here they are on the attack. It's Josh Papali who takes them within range of the Tongan line. He'll play it. Midfield Cook goes to Travojevic. One-on-one tackle for a moment there for Havili, who did well until Taumaloa came across to help with Hopewadi. Cook out the back for Clemmer. To tip it on, takes them on himself. I'll take him to ground fairly comfortably there, and they've held on here for 4 plays. Once again, into that left edge, awkward pass there, well handled by Josh Papali. Now Munster, Mitchell, comes back in the inside. Murdoch-Masilla driving to the ribs. That was a strong tackle. I've got one more play here. It's going to be a penalty, will it? No, it's going to be called back for Latrell Mitchell to play it there once again. Last tackle. And it's the Australians who put it in the air. Whiten is out there, got a touch on it, knocked it forward though to Adam Fanua-Blake, and once again the crowd roars its approval as Tonga hang on inside their own 20.
Really good signs early for Tonga. They've had a lot of pressure on the last few sets of 6 on their own in-goal area, and they have delivered. They've shown great resilience. It's only been 13 minutes in, but still very positive signs.
No score for this opening quarter of an hour. Another raucous crowd at Eden Park. Staggs, a ball out the back once again. That time for Manu Ma'u. Havili. Taukeiaho.
He's had a strong start, Taukeiaho.
He's picking up from where he left off last week. Massive metres, 226 of them on 23 carries. Jason Taumaloa, and that's Wake with 153 last week against the Lions blocking.
And that's smart play too. Just getting on the back of Taukeiaho, showing as he makes those great runs in the middle third of the field, but great footwork, quick play the balls. Taumaloa straight on the back of it.
Oh, Tedesco took a chance there. Adokar has come up with it. Suggestion the pass might have been forward. Play on is the
that one
call
was,
from the
that one
officials,
was.
and a little knock on, or if not, a forward pass from Cameron Munster.
Yeah, this is what they need, Tonga. They need a couple of errors out of Australia. Try and build some pressure on the best side in the world. The biggest challenge for the Tongans is turning opportunities into points. Watch this play here from Tedesco. Round the corner, I thought it was good. Good tackle from Fusatua on Addo Carr. And then just Munster jumps out of dummy half, comes out of the hands forward without a doubt. The touch judge is right there. Tedesco nearly drops it anyway, but a little bit of a lapse in concentration from the Australian side presents a great opportunity here for the Tongans, who deserve it.
Just like early in the game too, Munster is such an attacking player to run the ball. Rather than ball playing and trying to set people up on the outside, have a few runs early.
I think we can look for Katoni Staggs to be the runner for the Tongans. He's already had a couple of touches early. He's just got to take the line on. He is damaging with ball in hand. Oh,
Field position here. What a ball by Jennings. Tupou wrapped up eventually there by Contrick. Almost opened them up off the scrum wing. Jennings goes back to find Lola here. Clement getting out of the line quickly there, shut things down and made sure that Lola here couldn't keep it going to the right-hand side. Now they try and get to that point as Adam Fanua-Blake punches it in towards the middle. He'll play it to Havili. Ball there for Taumalolo. Standing in the tackle, Hopewadi was there. And there's a whistle for a knock-on in the tackle. Taumalolo didn't have possession securely and lost it into one of the Australian defenders.
It was Boyd Cordner who comes up with a really good shot on one of the hardest players to defend in the competition or in the world. This is the play from Jennings. That was beautiful. Brings Kotrick in. Still couldn't get on the outside of Whiten, but Taumalolo just dropped it. A little bobble, I think, into Boyd Cordner. Enough for the referee to say knock on, and an opportunity, as I spoke about, converting those opportunities into points for Tonga tonight is critical.
Chance wasted there with tackles up their sleeve from close range as well. Strong defence here though as Whiten out of his back as Frizzell works it up. 20 short of the halfway line. Still no score. 23 minutes remaining in this first half. Josh Papali, what a season he has had. It's the lime green of the Raiders, green of the Kangaroos. Playing here for Travojevic. Porter going with him. Munster. Room to move once again off the back of that block play. Left up though, 30 metres out from the Tongan line. Mitchell fires it to Cherry Evans, who puts it in the air on the last. Hopewadi under pressure here, did well. Cordner didn't make a contest of it. Hopewadi brings it back here to play it just outside the Tonga 20.
Give his teammates plenty of confidence at the back, doesn't he? Hopewadi.
So consistent block.
He's had a great start to the game. Courageous.
He's the pro's pro, isn't he? What jumper he's wearing. Fusatua. Taumalolo screaming forward there. Must have been from somebody in the Australian camp. Certainly wasn't any of the officials. Takeaho tipping it on. Hopewadi likewise. Jennings another lovely ball here for Tupou. What a combination they are. Tupou stepping, and he's only 30 metres out. Metres again for Tonga down that left edge. Staggs at dummy half. Hopewadi there at first receiver. Goes to Lola here. Murdoch Masilla keeps it going. Hurrell runs into a dead end, and he gave Fusatua absolutely no chance.
You know, it was a great read here from Latrell Mitchell, but it was quite predictable. Conrad Hurrell is running over the sideline. There was only one option. That was to throw the flick pass back on the inside to Fusatua, which was the wrong play. This was good work from Tonga on the left-hand edge. They've looked dangerous. Nearly got on the outside, but come back through the middle. But then Conrad Hurrell, he just had to find a kick there. He was going over the sideline. It was the fifth tackle.
It's been Jennings' ball-playing skill. His catch and pass been perfect so far. Down that left edge, as you say. They've got to keep going down that side. Australia kick early in the tackle count.
Second tackle, 40-20.
And it will cross the line about 22 out from the Tongan goal line. Worth the shot, and certainly there was nobody at home there on that left wing with Tupou and Jennings up in the line, and Cherry Evans wasn't far away from producing a 40-20. Oh, yeah, get that flagpole into the ground. That's quite a pole that fan's got, isn't it? It's about 30 feet high.
One of those retractable ones.
It might well be.
It has to be, surely.
On the very end of it is one of those contraptions that pulls your golf ball out of the lake.
I'll have one. Give me two. I've got a few balls that go in the water these days, so could do with one of those was.
It's handy. He's hard to miss out there. A sea of red. What an atmosphere it is. Midway through this opening half, the Tonga Invitational team matching it with the Kangaroos. They've had as many scoring chances, no doubt about that, to this point. There's Adam Fanua-Blake who will play it. Avili jumping out of dummy half, bended away there from Clemmer, keeps it going. Taumalolo finds some space and gives it off to Staggs, who takes them on. Wyden did well there, and again this left edge making inroads against the Australian defence. Jennings running a long way back to the middle of the field. Fanua-Blake straightening them up. Roaring these Tongan fans. 25 metres out on the Kangaroos line. Play number 5 here. Taumalolo heavily involved. Staying alive, getting back to his feet. Caught on to play it now. One more tackle. Taukeiaho, grubbers, off the legs. 6 more plays coming up for Tonga. It's Lola here who will take the tackle there. Well, they take a breather and get themselves sorted in attack just 5 metres out. Hopewadi dives across the line and scores for the Tonga Invitational team. They strike first off the 6 again call. And it's unbelievable, the noise at Eden Park.
Yeah, they missed the consistency. We just spoke about him. Will Hopewadi comes up with a massive play out of dummy half. It's great vision. Damien Cook gets caught off the mark. He wasn't happy, Cookie. He couldn't believe that the referee let it play on, but the footwork from Taumalolo starts it. He gets through. He powers through. Cook tries to bring him down. He gets caught off. They run out of dummy half. Look at Cook. He's not at first marker. He's in no man's land. Hopewadi, the vision, the experience. He nails the play. He turns an opportunity into points, and it's been a great start to the Tongan Invitational side here tonight.
Well, they played so well. He just got caught in between to play the ball, didn't he, that time? Cook, there's been a fair few arm grabbers there. I reckon the message is going to go out from Mal Meninga. Boys, we've got to put our shoulders in here, otherwise these guys will keep running over the top of us. He's got a great nose of when to run, hasn't he? Hopewadi, he saw there was only one marker there, scoots out, they'll slow off the line, and he's a little bit more stronger than what you think. Scores a try next to the post. And that's a great start for the Tongan side. A wake-up call for Australia.
Tony Staggs from right in front here in his second appearance. The famous red of Tonga, having played against New Zealand on the 22nd of June in the mid-season tests. And that break from the NRL puts it over the black dot, and they are delirious. Why wouldn't they be? Sometimes what you think will be the game plan and the way the game will play out doesn't eventuate, but the way this has gone so far is exactly the way you would have seen Tonga getting themselves into the game. The forwards have been enormous, and the speed on the edges, and Jennings and Tupou in particular have been terrific.
They've been fast, they've been physical, but they've been controlled and disciplined, which is a big component that if they get right, they can compete with any side, and that's what they are doing so far. Will Hopewadi, he doesn't make mistakes, but he very rarely misses an opportunity in attack.
Yeah, you know what else is pretty rare too, Brake? 12 missed tackles for the Australians. You don't really see that early in the game.
They are in this up at their eyebrows here, the Tonga Invitational 13. Lead this 6 points to nil. It's an Australian outfit. It's won 15 of its last 16 games. The only game they lost recently was the test against New Zealand last October. Redemption last week in Wollongong, but boy, we've got a game here tonight. It's Murdoch Masilla who'll play it for Hurrell. Take it from dummy half and
good run.
Just do what Connie has always done so well. Put the head down and charge forward. He's a mini rhinoceros. He plays it here. Avili. Across to Taumalolo, and the meters just keep on coming.
Look at the size of these guys. If they can control possession, just steaming through the middle of the Australian ruck.
Olahia puts it high in the air. Pressure again on Addo-Carr, standing there, makes a good catch. But they will wrap him up, and that was exactly the set of 6 that Christian Wolf, the Tongan coach, would have been looking for off the back of the try by Hopewadi. See if they can match that with some defensive intensity here and put the Australians under pressure at their own end of the field. Paul Vaughan is out there now. Now Meninga goes to his bench. They played for Cook.
Payne Haas is out there as well, so an injection. He's obviously thought that the side needs it.
Here he is.
This guy.
The game he had last week against New Zealand, and the Australians wearing black armbands tonight after the passing of the uncle of Payne Haas. Nice touch by the Kangaroos, one of their newest members. Here is Hopewadi fielding the kick from Cherry Evans. And the start they set in pretty good field position as well. Munster hanging on there around the head of the Tongan fullback. It's play on as Fusatua works it back towards midfield, and they're 20 short of the halfway line. Involved in everything, and that effort earlier in the game by Hopewadi to bring a Cherry Evans grubber back and keep it in the field of play. It's on an invitational. That was a key play to this point of the game. It's Taukeaha doing some ball playing once again. Nice hands from Lola here. Murdoch-Masila back against the grain. The toll there of Courtner, who's been left on the ground. The kick off the legs
had to put that
of
out.
Latrell Mitchell, juggled by the Fox. Murdoch-Masila gets to him to take him to ground. A cheap turnover there, and the Kangaroos have it at the halfway line, and they get a penalty.
Murdoch-Masila's defence has been outstanding. I know he's made a couple of good runs in this game of footy. He's attacked from the inside, the Australians. His defence has been outstanding.
You're spot on, Blocker. That was a huge moment from Lula here. A great set of 6. Good work from Murdoch-Masila to almost get through. He had to find the sideline there. He had to kick it over, and he unfortunately found the legs of Latrell Mitchell. That could be huge.
Payne Haas an offload. Goes from Trbojevic to Cherry Evans. Here's Tedesco showing it. They were a little staggered on this left-hand side of the defensive line, Tonga. They did well eventually. Ma'u, Jennings, and also Katoni Staggs as Frizzell goes to Cherry Evans. Paul Vaughan goes straight towards the uprights. Fafita out there now for Tonga as well. Cherry Evans back underneath the Payne Haas, that big left arm fend. They can get going, runs in behind Tedesco. No call from Jared Sutton. Whiten back into the hole, reaches out and plants it down. They may want to check it, and that's exactly what Jared Sutton will do.
I have a try, ensuring that there's no obstruction. Nobody is impeded by the lead runner who goes through.
Listen, I don't think this is an obstruction. And I don't think anyone...
that previous play the ball, please, and just run this through from a wide shot.
I don't think anyone gets taken out here, but it just looks like an old-fashioned shepherd to me. Payne Haas runs behind the back of Whiten. Now, watch this. Whiten goes through. So we go to the left-hand side. It's a great run from Payne Haas. Now, and I'm sure no one gets impeded, but to me, it just seems like he runs behind his player. Well, it's Tedesco going through. Isn't it? As soon as he goes through, don't you have to stop the play? But anyway... As you can see, no one's been taken out.
Yeah, no one's been taken. Didn't impede anyone.
No.
Okay, mate.
No one obstructed.
It's going to be a try.
It'll be a try.
It's going to be a try.
And they've done it so well early in this game to close off back on the inside, haven't they, the Tongans? That time, one lapse, one little lapse, and that's what happens.
And they had time there to shut the gate. They had time to stop that try. Whiten beat 2 or 3 defenders there. Hopewadi, one of them. And there it is, a try to the Aussies.
Well, if you look at players running behind players and you say that's a penalty, but if anyone's impeded, there was no one impeded there.
That's just me going back a little bit too far. And you know, back in the day, if you ran behind a player straight away, it was pulled up. But no player was impeded. And they had every right to make the tackle. Payne Haas, he's just a powerhouse. I mean, this guy, he's a man mountain, finds a pass to Whiten. And with space and time and footwork and power, he's just too good.
Made an impact. That's what you want from your bench players coming on. Payne Haas for the Australians. One offload already, and then that that run across field to pass the ball back on the inside. Athletic ability, power, strength to bust tackles. Gets the ball back on the inside to Whiten, and he does the rest.
Payne Haas has brought to the Kangaroos what Taukei'aho and Taumalolo have brought, and others, to the Tongan team so far in this game. Just raw running power in the middle of the field. Mitchell from beside the uprights, no mistake. We are locked up at 6 apiece. This huge contingent of Tongan fans here to see their team in action against the Kangaroos, and what a cracking game of rugby league it's been so far. Watch it again. You saw those trailing across there, including Silva Havili. You mentioned it, Braith. We saw plenty of situations like that during the NRL season where it was ruled immediately no try, or the referee would blow it up on the field, perhaps on the advice of the pocket referee. But with one referee, he's let play go on. The fact that nobody paused or had to stop for that run by Tedesco going through, I guess, was the reason they said green light.
My point there was is normally as soon as a player goes in front of you, the attacking player that was Payne Haas in that situation has to stop and just play the ball. He kept running, finds a pass, they score off the back of it.
Your talking point in this opening 40 minutes. Australia on the board through Jack Whiten. Made his debut in the win last week against New Zealand. A try scorer here tonight against Tonga. Cook coming back to Cherry Evans. Yes, Frizzell room to move there. And line speed from the Tongans on that occasion. Well handled though. Tavita Pangai.
Look at this.
In the side with Joe Offahengawi also included. Some changes made for the team that beat Great Britain last week. And now a penalty given away by Havili, and that's the effect of Payne Haas.
We've got to try and slow him down.
Well, that's it. You know, look at the impact he's made already. Last week, he was incredible. He ran for 157 metres off the bench. He comes on, sets up a try, and again, gets a penalty here, and a critical one. Starting to dominate now field position and attack with ball in hand, and here he goes again.
Origin for New South Wales in game 1 of the series this year, in the win by the Blues over Queensland. There's a wrecking ball for Australia at the end of the 2019 season. It's remarkable what a season he has had. Here he is again. Payne Haas running towards a Broncos teammate in Katoni Staggs. They take him to ground, only 5 metres out. The Tonga Invitational line. Cook, Vaughan spinning, too strong from close range. They want to check it again though.
Yep. Have a try. Yep. Just confirming Paul Vaughan retains possession of that.
Okay, mate, thank you. Video ref to Eric. Thank you, mate. Just on the grounding here,
Was there a bobble
and maybe from the ruck
in the catch before the hit and spin by Vaughan?
Tell you what, it's smart play by Vaughan to get off the back of Payne Haas. Get off the back of him straight away, spins out, he's got
Eric,
good skills, spins out of the tackle. No, that's a try.
Gets to the ground. We just confirm possession throughout the whole
Just
process.
where
Thank
he
you,
makes the catch though off the pass from Cook, does it come away from him here? That's what Jared Sutton was concerned about. Did the ball come free? Didn't look like it there.
No, well, they're stripping for the ball.
That's a try.
That's a try for sure. Smart play. Very smart play from Vaughan. They've made an impact, these two guys, haven't they?
Oh, they sure have.
Thank you, mate. We can go to the screen with a try. Thank you.
They've only been on for a matter of minutes, and Vaughan's already ran for 36 metres and come up with a try. Payne Haas has run for 60 metres.
He hasn't.
And he's 60 metres, and he set up a try.
Oh, they've counted the warmer.
And I think he had 3 hit-ups in that set.
Yeah, good is he?
He's had 7 runs for 60 metres in maybe 7 minutes of football.
Incredible.
Change in complexion in this game. Back-to-back tries by the Kangaroos. Whiten grabbing his first international try to level things up at 6 apiece. Paul Vaughan of Payne Haas.
We're all talking about the monsters of the opposition in the Tongan team. He's come on and he's blown them apart.
Change the game in a heartbeat, Mitchell. And once again, right beside the uprights. Should be able to make this a 6-point lead. He does exactly that. The Kangaroos have quelled the crowd for the moment. 12 points to 6 they lead.
Yeah, I can't help but go back to that fifth tackle option from Lolo here about 10 minutes ago, which really changed the whole complex of the match. I thought it was a big moment because if you give the Aussies an opportunity, you give them field position and they control the footy, it's very hard to stop them. And since they have had the ball for the last 5 to 10 minutes, it's been that way.
Important 8 minutes coming up for Tonga. Invitational right here. They almost get the ball back off the restart. It landed in no man's land, and Cherry Evans only just got there in time as the sea of red descending upon top of him. Last play, Cook. Back here to Jack White. Good carry. Now Paul Vaughan. The 2 try scorers to work it beyond the 40 up towards the halfway line here. Numbers for Payne Haas. 8 runs, 71 metres, 2 tackle busts, 2 offloads, and 2 key plays for 2 tries for the Australians.
And then Ken Murray comes on.
He just gets him on the front foot, doesn't he?
Kick here, pressure on Hopewadi once again. The Fox, Josh Adokar coming down on top of him. Hopewadi makes another good catch. Now the pressure on the forwards of Tonga to get back onside, to work it away from inside their own 20.
It's survival mode at the moment for Tonga. They just need to hang real tough here, make sure they don't concede any points before half-time.
Stupo to work it away. There is Murray involved with tackle around the legs. Whiten over the top. Andrew Fafita working it forward. If Murray gets going off the back of Haas, and that brings Cook into the equation as well with Murray's quick play the balls. Tonga might be under huge pressure. For the moment, Jennings down the sideline. Play on it will be here. If Australia come up with possession, that will be a knock-on, though, against Tonga.
Katoni Staggs had created the space. He had to dummy and go here. He was almost through, if not through himself, and he throws the pass that wasn't quite on. There was no space on the outside. Just had to back himself. Another incomplete set.
I reckon you'd be talking to him at half-time and say, mate, think, run. You run. Just run. Been dangerous, hasn't he?
Here he is, Kangaroo number 832. Cameron Murray playing at 40 metres out. The Tongan line, Cherry Evans, flat ball there for Cordner, who took a real knock earlier in the game, but the skipper has been okay after that. It's Cherry Evans, double pumps it, gives it off to Cameron Munster, who has this neck and shoulder issue, which came to the fore last week. We saw him struggling at times against New Zealand. He gets a whack on the top of the head here. That certainly won't help his cause. Cherry Evans, numbers, Cordner. Stop there. Another terrific play by Ben Murdoch-Masila.
How good's his defence been? Then comes up with a one-on-one steal on the captain. And the penalty too.
Well, you know what? It was never a big part of his game when he played here in the NRL. His defence tonight has been great. Boyd Cordner, the skipper of the Kangaroos, saying he got hit just on the button there.
I think he was saying he was held, Boyd, but the referee said he hadn't called held and it was play on.
Off the back of the penalty, him has broken out in the crowd as well. It's incredible, isn't it? I could watch this team play every week. Let's see if they can sing for a try. Before half-time, Hurrell it is to work it forward. Stopping a 4-man tackle there. Sione Katoa out there now, the former Panther, be a Bulldog in 2020, out there in the dummy half roll for Tonga Invitational, almost back at the halfway line as Tavita Pangai plays it. Tavita gets the handoff from Katoa, not much happening for him there. And 50 away from the line. Pangai to the line, he gives it off to Lola here. Here's Murdoch-Masila, what a game he's had in this opening 40, just about away again. Quick play the ball. Lola here with a chance to go at them. Has Ofahen Gowie coming with him. Good metres off the back of the penalty. Took a chance there by planting the ball on the ground. Pangai, Hopewadi, Staggs did well. Grubbers has Tedesco under pressure, but such is his speed, he keeps it in the field of play. Wore a shot for his trouble there from Tavita Pangai. The fullback will play it at the Kangaroos 10. It was good to watch again as they made their way down the field. Quick play the balls, room to move, and now Cook works it away for Australia.
They're doing a great job. It was a great kick also from Tony Staggs. They don't have the creativity and the finesse that the Australian side have got. We know that, but they're still doing a great job.
Here is Murray, taking Vaughan with him to the line, looking for an offload, just about on away as well in the tackle there of Lolohea. Plenty of numbers down the short side here. Corner, the Roosters combination to Mitchell. A kick back infield. Cherry Evans was there, didn't play at it. Backwards off Hopewadi. It comes to Jennings, and they survive, but only just.
The Australians too now bridging up. They've got them caught on their own line here. Short side raid again, the catch and pass. Very skillful. They've just got that little bit too much skill for the Tonga.
It's the counter-attack too. I mean, they can be under pressure in defence, the Australian side, but then next set of 6 create an opportunity from nowhere.
We have firepower back on the bench for the moment. Tonga. Taukeaho back there, Tamalolo, Atten Fanua-Blake also. The ball comes free here, ripped out is the call. And the man on debut, Cameron Murray, the feet are clapping at the penalty. And certainly time here with 2 minutes remaining before the break for Tonga to come down and try and level this game up.
Yeah, it was. It's a great opportunity because now they don't really need to worry too much about getting points put on them before half-time. They'll get a full set of 6 here heading into the break and try and level up the scores. They get time to kick it out, have a breather. Try and come up with something special.
Another hymn breaks out in the crowd for the Tongans as Fafita.
Geez, that knee must be troubling him. He's lost a bit of impact, hasn't he, Fafita? Not as mobile as he once was.
Oh, no.
Poor pass there. Katoa, his pass goes to ground. Staggs can't clean it up, and there will be pressure.
Oh, there will be.
On the Tongan team here. Full set there would have taken plenty of time off the clock and made the Australians work it away from deep inside their own territory. Instead, they'll be under pressure here.
Well, they didn't find enough metres with the kick for touch. I mean, they nearly kicked it directly sideways, which gave them no good field position. And then that run, you were talking about it, Fafita on his knee, it was the slowest play the ball of the match. And then Havili comes up with that at a dummy half.
They'll chance their hand here, the Aussies, I reckon. Minute 15 before half-time.
This is crucial, Blocker. This is a big set.
Another great pass from the back of the scrum, but Patrick gets them going in the right direction. So 60 seconds remaining in this opening half, and Australia getting the last say as Munster. Back on the inside here for Mitchell. Always so dangerous when he floats across the field. There were numbers there in the tackle, but the offload came to Murray. Cook obliges. Munster still going. Stops, starts, puts a kick back on the infield. Pangai is there. He'll clean it up and take it out of play, and that'll just about get Tonga home to half-time.
Well, Tonga will be happy with Cameron Munster. Thank you very much for kicking the ball. So much pressure, only the second tackle, and looking vulnerable. And Munster, just a rush of blood there.
Well, I don't know who he was kicking for. There's no one back on the inside there for the Australian side. Pangai Jr. cleans it up. Just the speed of Addo Carr to get there, to force him over the dead ball line.
Time off with 18 seconds remaining. The ad-lib play from Cameron Munster wasn't what they were looking for, I'm sure, in the coach's box. Tony Staggs, imagine pumping this as long as he can. Does have a huge boot on him. The break trailing by just a converted try, and they've done well, Tonga. See if they can reset. Munster's going to, well, 40 was thinking about a field goal attempt from long range there for a moment.
Cheeky, very cheeky, Cameron.
Play left here.
Penalty.
Is it a knock on or penalty? They're going to say knock on by Munster is the call. He'd like his last 60 seconds back, wouldn't he? The decision to grab her with tackles up their sleeve, and then a knock on off the back of the goal line dropout at the break. What a contest we have. It's the Australian Kangaroos who lead the Tonga Invitational 12 points to 6. We will take a break and come back with Matt Shervington and the All-Star cast in just a moment right here on Fox League.
Welcome back to Fox League's International Test Rugby League coverage, and what a game this has been so far. Half-time at Eden Park. Game 3 it is, Australia taking on Tonga Invitational. 12-6 at the break, but Tonga Invitational so good at the start of this match. Their intent was clear. They want to beat the Australians. What a second half it's going to be. Welcome back to Michael Ennis, Greg Alexander and Corey Parker. Well, Mick, the intention from the Tongans very early in this match was clear. A brilliant kick in that first couple of plays, a great chase, and even better tackle.
Oh, absolutely. It was exactly the start they were after. You know, there was plenty of emotion before the game, and this was exactly the start they wanted. It was a terrific kick from Katoni Staggs and Jennings, who's having a terrific test series for Tonga. Absolutely nails Nick Kotrick, and they got the battle of field position straight away.
Yeah, you don't make poor starts against Australia and win.
No.
So the Tongans were aware of that. They needed to come out. They needed to take the Australians on early in the game, and they certainly won the first 20, 25 minutes.
Were you surprised by the momentum they had early?
Oh, I was surprised in the response from Australia, to be fair. I thought the middle third of the Tongans was superb, with Takiaho, Fanua Blake and obviously Jason Taumalolo. And just the lack of response. I mean, it's a test match and there's some tough footy going on, but the lack of response from the starting mids from Australia, they were under all sorts of pressure early in that game.
Yeah, I thought they just lacked a little intensity from what they had last week in Wollongong against the Kiwis. I thought there were some uncharacteristic plays.
Yep.
Just risky plays, ones we don't often see from Australia that like to build their game. We saw them last week against New Zealand, really patient, waited for them to implode, and then the class shone through. But having a kick-out from Daly Cherry, yeah, possibly on, but kicking on play too, you know, for a 40-20, we saw Tedesco offload on a kick return, and these moments unfolded and gifted the Tongans possession. Corey touched on the middle third, a terrific run from Taumalolo, and on the back of that, Hopewadi, who's had a superb first half, capitalised.
Questionable try here, Brandy?
Yeah, I guess it was. If in the NRL, that would have been pulled up for an obstruction. I'm happy for them to let it go, but you know, when did the video referees start being subjective and using common sense? They didn't during the NRL season, but they're starting to do it now. Payne Haas, and the turnaround in this Australians' fortunes in the opening 40 minutes was the introduction of Haas and Vaughan, both outstanding. Vaughan did a great job to get this ball down, took the ball on the line under pressure from Damien Cook, scored the try, and you know, they lead, but it was really only a 5-minute period that the Australians played well.
We touched in the pre-game the importance of the bench, and clearly we've seen that, haven't we? Because Paul Vaughan there scoring a try. Payne Haas, absolutely electric, but it was because they were being dominated through the middle of the field from Tonga, Corey.
Yeah, they certainly were, and we touched on it just before when we see some of the clips here. Takiaho, what a player he's become, where he's taken his game to a whole new level. This guy here, well, we've come to expect the type of football he plays. Ben Murdoch-Masala, he's been outstanding defensively, really stood up in that area, but just their dominance through that middle third really provided them some momentum, and a very, very timely change from Mal Meninga to bring on Payne Haas and obviously Paul Vaughan, who desperately got the Australians back into the momentum.
Yeah, good to see Cameron Murray into the action too. I just think his craft and his ball playing. We're seeing here just how destructive Payne Haas was, or already 70-odd metres in the game from just 8 runs. A couple of tackle busts and offloads. He just terrorised them, and particularly Sione Katoa and the guys that came off the bench for Tonga. They just didn't have the impact that the starting middles did. And now Murray's out there too with his leg speed, Brandy, starting to cause some havoc. Yeah, look, we speak about the Tongans and their ability to break tackles, like their big men Fafita and Fanua Blake, but there's no one like Payne Haas out there. Like, he's as big as those blokes and quicker, runs like a centre.
We've watched a lot of footy from Payne Haas, but he looks fitter than ever right now.
Yeah, look, it's not fair really, is it? I mean, for what he's doing week in, week out, on the highest level, he just hasn't missed a beat. He's really put his stamp in terms of an international player, and to come off the bench and turn aside single-handedly, we saw what he did last week, and to come off the bench and do it again here
There
today.
are stars all over the field in this match, and the beauty is we've got 40 minutes left to play between these two. Make sure you stick around for the second half. It is Australia taking on Tonga Invitational. Second half next.
44 matches, 20 nations, an unforgettable World Cup. And it all comes down to this. Tonight, live in Ultra HD with no ad breaks during play, the final. England and South Africa. Winner takes rugby's biggest prize. These white-hot Poms. Wow. What about how they smashed and bashed their way through the all-conquering All Blacks?
Boil over. The favourites are gone. What an epic semi-final.
That was Eddie Jones, the mastermind. Knows all about the Springboks. There for their last World Cup win in 07. Against, yep, you guessed it, England. His smirking skipper, Owen Farrell, played on one leg for most of the semi.
What a ball from Owen Farrell.
A warrior, like his hitmen, Tuolungi and the Kamikaze Kids.
Oh, that's a hit. John Curry.
The Box, two-time world champs, never lost a final. Vicious as they come. Look out for Crazy Eyes Detzabeth.
Staring each other down.
And the bloke they call Beast. He'll be there, belting out the anthem. Next to Captain Khaleesi. Went hungry as a kid, walked to school without shoes. Now, united his country. What a yarn. It's the biggest match in world sport this year. Tonight, England, South Africa, the World Cup final. And it's right here in Ultra HD and ad break free on your home of rugby, Fox Sports.
Just over an hour before England take on South Africa in the final of the Rugby World Cup in Japan. We've got a pretty good contest right here as well. It's Rugby League on Fox League. Australia versus Tonga Invitational. The Kangaroos leading 12 points to 6. 2 tries to 1 in that first half. And the Australians were up against it until Payne Haas came off the bench and really changed the complexion of the game with an amazing burst and created 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes for the Kangaroos.
You're exactly right, Was. The Australian side started off slowly, but brought it home very strong. Probably unlucky not to put some more points on the Tongan side, but the Tongans were fantastic to start the game, and they'll need to be the same to start this second half. It is pivotal how they come out in this second half, isn't it, Locke?
Yeah, look, the Tongans, they'll just keep at it. There's no doubt about that. It's just that little bit of polish on the end of their play. But the Australians can go up that short side a couple of times on the left-hand side, creating opportunities. As the more tired that the Tongans get, it'll create a few more opportunities for the likes of Cook, Tedesco and co. It's going to be hard for them to win this game, I reckon.
The game faces on as they come back down the tunnel at Eden Park. A withering start to the game. They own the middle third of the field with their power forwards. Taukeaho, Taumalolo in particular, they were great. Ben Murdoch-Masila, who plies his trade in the Super League, outstanding in the right edge of the field, both defensively and with the ball in his hands. It's some 4 years since we've seen him playing in the NRL. Over to play with Salford initially, and now with Warrington as well. He's been terrific. And Tony Staggs, a little surprised naming by Christian Wolf and his coaching staff to play in the halves here against the Kangaroos, but put up that very first kick off the game, which had Nick Cotric under pressure and gave Tonga possession.
Yeah, well, what they need, the Tongans, is a score first. If they score first, they get the excitement, the crowd behind them. Anything can happen in the second 40.
Latrell Mitchell gets us back underway. Second half of this international between Australia and the Tonga Invitational team. And it's Andrew Fafita going sideways here, and a strong tackle by the Kangaroos to get this second 40 underway. White was there, so was the incredible frame of Payne Haas. Manu Ma'u playing it. Comes back to Joe Offahengawi.
Cameron, get in!
20 short of the halfway line as he plays it here. Goes back to Tavita Pangai. Broncos forward, offload there. Quick hands come away from Sione Katoa out here on this right-hand side. Murdoch-Masila wrapped up pretty quickly. Conrad Hurrell taking it at speed towards the middle of the field. Wrapped up there. Tackled by Vaughan and Cook and also Haas. One more play. Lolohea puts it high in the air. chasing through. One of the Tongan players called out of it. It was Pangai who was in an offside position. Play on's the call, and it's Tedesco who has it for the Australians.
Yeah, Pangai was offside there, and they called him out. He had to get it onside. It was a poor kick chase, bad discipline, and he's let his side down here because Australia are on the attack, and they've got some momentum in only their first set with the ball in hand.
Tavita up and square. Go, 3. Thanks, 3.
Here is Haas, whose numbers were just massive after coming off the bench. 8 runs for 65 metres in trying to blur some of those metres. Frizzell, fairly quiet in the opening 40 minutes. 4th carry of the game right there. It's Cook. Comes back to the middle once again. Haas tipping it on. Munster goes to Mitchell. Mix up there between Mitchell and also Cordner. And Conrad Howell might have caught Mitchell a little awkwardly there as he tried to reel that pass in. To be okay, the Roosters centre, but a turnover by the Australians, and Tonga will try and work it away from inside their own red zone.
Yeah, I think Australia just need to go through the hands, short passes, even look back through the middle of the Tongan side. This is a great run from Fusatua. They don't look as energised, Tonga, apart from that run just there to start this second half, which is a bit of a concern.
7 metres to this point of the game. Daniel Tupou, 105 to lead everybody. Tavita Pangai for an offload once again, and a legs tackle there by Vaughan. Offa Hengawi. Take it forward. Stopped by Damien Cook. One more play. And Lola here will put it high in the air. Adokar coming forward, almost overran it and did well in the end to adjust and make the catch. So taking his eyes off the ball mid-flight to see what the defence was doing coming down on top of him, and just lost the track of it. Good catch in the end, not to turn it over. Now Mitchell under pressure, pops it out the back. Tonga have it through Jennings.
Yeah, it was a loose carry too. They got up underneath Mitchell too. Here's a chance for the Tongans. They should get it sided now.
Oh, Pangai takes a chance. Pops a basketball pass over the top.
Well, that was a shocking pass.
Could have gone anywhere. Could have gone to an Australian defender instead. Tupou will play it there. Offa Hengawi. Needs a composure here, and needs Staggs and Lola here to take control. And a great chance early in this second half. Payne Haas will give away a penalty. Trailing by 6. Imagine they're thinking penalty goal here. They'll take a tap. Will Hopewadi a cool head.
Well, he's the man, and he's barking orders, trying to get them into right field position to execute a play that could threaten the defence of the Aussies.
Theatre wanted a quick play the ball. Frizzell locked up the ball. Katoa goes to Lola here. Murdoch Masilla. Good tackle there by Cordner and also Cook. What a weapon he is, Ben Murdoch Masilla. Here's Pangai. Heavily involved at the moment, running towards Cherry Evans, popping it over the top. A chance for Manu Ma'u. Wants to keep it alive. Katoa does exactly that. Has got a try like this last week. Here's Staggs. Staggs gets to the line and is held up by Cherry Evans.
Oh, how good was that from the Australian? Staggs put the foot down and look like he's going to score for all money.
As well as grounding, look at contact with the head.
They did it the hard way. They come back in field and then went down the short side again. They had the numbers there. They should have stuck there.
This is monumental effort in defence. Tedesco and Cherry Evans up against a strong ball carrier in Katoni Staggs, who looked like he was going to score for all money. Tedesco, well, the contact there is with the head, so it could be a penalty. It probably will be, but still the ability to stop this try. Such a big moment.
Well, you do what you got to do, don't you? Staggs put the foot down to go to score the try. I know it was a little bit high there.
It'll be a penalty, but
got some high contact. Tedesco.
No malice.
He did his best there, but Tedesco.
Ball remains
Cherry Evans.
Okay, Jerry.
Watch Cherry Evans get
one more shot here.
Underneath the ball. Tedesco makes the contact, but if Cherry Evans doesn't come into play, Staggs gets it down.
It'll be a penalty for sure.
Contact, mate. The ball never gets to the ground.
Yeah, penalty is all.
Yes, mate. You can go to the decision on no try.
Okay, no, it's a penalty, not a penalty try.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Good call.
Yeah, fair enough.
It'll be red lights confirmed on the screen there. Jared Sutton, though, will blow a penalty here. It's on the Invitational 13, and they'll come at them once again. They scored a try last week on the stroke of half-time against Great Britain, which went through 16 pairs of hands and one kick for Sione Katoa to score the try of the season. It was building up to something like that again. Here they are, inside the Australian 10. Ofahengawi will play it for Katoa. Fafita taking them on. The former Kangaroo himself, who played 7 games for Australia. Up against them here tonight at Eden Park. Katoa goes wide. Lola here. Great ball. Hopewadi keeps it going. Jennings reaches out. He scores. Tonga coming back. It's game on again.
This is beautiful work from Tonga. Impressive. Their best attacking set by a long way. Great work from Lola here to suck in the defence of the Australian side. Throw it out the back to that left-hand edge of the Tongans, who had plenty of time, plenty of space, and this time they made it count. That pass right there. Lola here to Hopewadi, to Jennings, and they are back and back in a big way.
Yeah, it was the calmness of Hopewadi. The pass on the outside of Jennings, that have blinded down this left-hand side all game. But the attention to detail from Latrell Mitchell, taking the ball off our own line, losing possession, trying to offload, gave them back-to-back sets. And the Tongans make them pay. They need to score first in the second half. They've done that. Game on.
And you've got to give a round of applause to the coaching staff, because that was as crisp and like clockwork, that play on the left-hand side, with a decoy attracting the Australian defence, opening up the space on the outside. And well, we know what sort of finisher Michael Jennings has been throughout the duration of his career. A little in and away, gave him the chance to beat the cover and put it down to give Stags a chance to level this back up at 12 apiece. You won't be able to hear yourself think, if Stags can kick this, hooking back, it just bends away and stays at 12 points to 10. A narrow lead for the Australians, but what sort of party are they having here in the stands at Eden Park?
Well, they're loving it, aren't they, Block? Well, they've put themselves in a position now, haven't they, the Tongans? As I said, the crowd will start to come into it now.
They just need to stay within distance, just arm's length away, which is what they've been able to do this whole game. Here we go.
Crowd breaking out in song once again as the restart comes from the Australians. Remembering the Kangaroos, their very first meeting against Tonga last year. Able to beat them 34 points to 16 12 months ago. What a different scenario we have here in this game now. Manu Ma'u on the ground.
The Katoa screaming at the referee, Crusher. So I'm assuming we'll take a look at this.
He's up now. He's up.
It seems to be okay. Maybe we won't. Here we go.
Travel two. Hold. Go two.
Up in a sandwich there between Vaughan and also Haas. Frizzell drove in around the hips. Call. Jared Sutton, lone referee, says play on, and Fafita it is. He works it back towards the halfway line. 2 tries apiece. Manu Ma'u still flexing that neck out there on the left edge, just back behind the plate. Tavita Pangai, he has been good. His pass selection at times a little questionable, but he has been all intensity. Here's Stags. How well has he played here tonight? A kick down to the line. That's a terrific kick. Tedesco.
And kick chase.
Met there by Stags, and they stop the Aussie fullback at his own 10.
For a young Tongan player playing out of position in the halves, he's made it look very easy and very comfortable, like he belongs. Such a huge test match against the best team in the world. He's come up with some enormous plays.
Jay Travojevic is warming up back on the sideline for Mal Meninga. How nervous are they out in the Australian coach's box?
Tell you what, I'd be getting Tom Malolo back out there if I was the Tongans.
Good call.
Cook taking Tedesco with him. That combination, they were so good last week against New Zealand. Cook was man of the match in that win. Cherry Evans puts it in the air. It'll come down to Hopewadi, who makes a grab inside his own 10. And gone 90 metres there. A good response from the Kangaroos to take it down the field and have Tonga working it off their own line.
This is where Tonga struggle a little bit with their transitions. They need their outside backs to come in and help their forwards. Good work from Pengai to get back there. And a nice offload off of Hengawi. But this is where they get a little bit tired, when the Australian side turn them around with their kicking game.
Frantic. 10 minutes to open up this second half. Noise has been deafening from the crowd. They're in full voice again with another hymn. Here's Conrad Hurrell taking it forward, looking for a quick play of the ball as well. Supplies one for Katoa. Lola here. Torpedo, which will be awkward to handle here, so Tedesco backs away from it. Murray was there, knocked it forwards. 6 more tackles as Kupo came up with it.
What a shocking bounce that was for the Australian team.
What a kick by Lola here, a midfield bomb, a perfect spiral.
I think he did the right thing, Tedesco, not to have a go at it there. He was sort of in no man's land.
Here's Fafita. Certainly warmed to the task after looking a little proppy before half-time, but he's been good since the resumption. Lola here, back on the inside, the Murdoch, Masilla and Cordner saw him coming. 2 second rows coming together. What a collision between the two of them. Adokar coming up with a touch here. It should be 6 more tackles for a knock-on by the Australians.
There's a touch Australia first.
Eric, can we get a replay on that knock-on?
And Jared Sutton wants to check
having a look now, mate,
via Jared Maxwell in the video referee's bunker as to who got the first touch here.
He's called that Tonga have knocked it on, but he wants to get some help from the bunker. I don't know if it touched Latrell's hands there first. That's the only one. Adokar hasn't touched it.
In there, boys.
having a look, mate. Anything else on that, Sarah?
Just here, if Latrell gets a hand on this, well, you can't tell.
Go back the other one, mate.
The ball didn't change any sort of angle, did it?
Wasn't the play there from Lawler here. He's been really good at times tonight. He's just there. You see if Latrell... Well, you can't tell. I mean, it's nearly impossible. You have to go with the ref's call.
Go with what you got, mate. I've got nothing to overturn it.
It's Australia feed.
Yeah. No touch there.
It's Australia feed.
To be a touch by Adokar there. It certainly wasn't as we watched the replay.
Again, you spoke about it, Blocker, just that final touch and finesse that they've struggled with at times. And Lawler here just had to run that. The pass wasn't on. I mean, he had 2 Aussie players inside of his outside attacker. And he still went for the miracle pass.
Out, time on.
There's still a long time to go here tonight between these two teams, but we go back to the World Cup of 2017 and what Tonga brought to that tournament. What they continue to bring to the international game here again tonight. They force another mistake and a potential flare-up. It's getting feisty at Eden Park. Taukeaho there in the middle of it. And they are rattling the cage of the Australian just to emphasise the point of what they have brought to international rugby league in the past 24 months. A big hit there on Mitchell.
Yeah, often in Gowie it was underneath there. Just underneath the footy. Good on the Tongans too for getting fired up. Murdoch, Masilla over the top.
I've never seen Latrell dominated as much with physicality and shots like the Tongans have tonight. Every time he's touched it, they've got under the ribs of Latrell, which is very hard to do, and forced 2 errors, 2 critical errors so far in this second half.
Well, they're hitting through him, aren't they? He's trying to just steady himself and bump players off. The Tongans are just spearing up under the ball. They've got the desired result. There's another turnover to them.
And it's Jennings who's been so dangerous on that left-hand side of the field. And absorbing 27 minutes of action remaining here. It's Tonga Invitational on the attack. Taukeaho, almost unstoppable at times over the past 2 weekends. Playing it for Katoa. Lolohea has to wait. Comes back to Fafita, who will just settle things down. And the burned play 5 metres out, make it 8 metres out from the Australian line. A settler there for Tonga. Katoa. Flat pass. Taukei'aho stepping in behind them. Almost got to the line. Great tackle by Graham. Tavita Pangai. He crashes through. Tonga have the lead.
Well, what about that? Nothing in the tank there. Beautiful straight run. The pass was perfect. Nice soft hands. And Pangai, unstoppable there. Off the quick to play the ball. From again, Taukei'aho. He's been inspirational. Hits the ball at speed. You can't stop him that close to the line.
Blocker, if you give them momentum, confidence and belief, they are hard to stop this Tongan side. So much size, so much power, and a beautiful little pass from Katoa to Pangai, so close to the line, and you cannot stop him. No matter who you are, you cannot stop Pangai that close to the try line.
What about the soft pass and the soft hands there? Pangai, look at him. They're loving that.
They're fired up, Blocker, and it's dangerous signs for the Aussies that have just kept them in this contest, and now they are taking full advantage of it.
Oh, boy. There might be an earthquake in the Shaky Isles tonight.
We might feel it over here if they win.
The epicentre will be Eden Park. This Tongan crowd on their feet, the stadium shaking as Pangai plunged in to score. And Kotoni Staggs to make this a 4-point lead. They had dominated the 60 minutes of this second half to this point. No problem for Kotoni Staggs. Inside the right hand upright. What a scoreline we have. Yes. Tonga 16, Australia 12. When was the last time you saw scenes like this?
It's the best. It's so good for the game of rugby league at an international level to see Tonga doing so well against the Australian side.
And it's been the defence that has forced errors on the Australian side. I know they've got their couple of tries early in the second half, but the defence, the forcing of errors.
Oh, they'll keep coming. The Aussies will keep coming. They will fight to the death. Long way to go.
Pangai, another offload. He's been killing them in this second half with those offloads. He put Hopewadi under pressure, though, and Cordner, who's been very good, the skipper, leading the way defensively, was there to pounce as well.
Taukei'aho, what a captain's knock.
They can play it here. Whistle from Jared Sutton. Time back on. Andrew Fafita. You can see that left leg at times. Just doesn't look great, does it? But he's all courage here tonight. Katoa's kick from dummy half. A good one as well. Tedesco to take it back inside the Kangaroos 20s. Chopped there. Just stopped by Conrad Hurrell. What a tackle. Everything happening for Tonga at the moment. Addo-Carr. There's something going for the Kangaroos. Brings it back within 10 of the halfway line. Al Meninga's words before this game, he said of Tonga, they've got a passion and desire to put on that red jersey, and we have to match it. Boy, they have to match it right here. It's overflowing at Eden Park tonight from Tonga. Papali takes it back across the halfway line. Cook in dummy half to Vojovic. Coming out of the line, Staggs left a hole there for Cherry Evans, but they regroup defensively and stop him just inside the 30. Cook out in front of Munster. A good ball. Munster puts it on the toe. Fusitu'a standing underneath it. Addo-Carr came through. Wasn't playing at the ball. It could have been a penalty. For a tunnelling effort, it'll be play on here for Fusitu'a.
Oh, it's a great take from Fusitu'a, but unavoidable for Addo-Carr. This is the right call. Addo-Carr, he tries to pull out of the way. Fusitu'a just gets up and above him. You watch this.
Surely you've got to be able to compete for the footy here.
That's unavoidable. Let's just play on. Unfortunate for Fusitu'a, but what a athletic play from the 6'4" winger, who is having a strong game for his country.
Don't go early. Don't go early. Time on.
good news. David Fusatua, who missed some game time with the Warriors with injury this year, is okay. And referee Jared Sutton in the background explaining to the Tongans exactly why it wasn't going to be a penalty. As Daniel Tupou takes a carry, not many metres there as Wade Graham gets to him. Here is Taumalolo. Picks up plenty beyond contact once again. 2 plays remaining in this set. What a 1-2 punch it is. Taumalolo, Taukeaho. And just like that, they're back at the halfway line. A kick for Lola here. End over end this time. A much more friendly one for Addo-Carr, who makes the catch. Brings it back to be stopped there by Hurrell and Murdoch-Masila.
Really good kick there from Lola here. Exactly what his side needed. He put it up high, he put it up long, he gave his chasers a chance to get back there, and again they are targeting Latrell Mitchell.
Well, he brings it back at speed, and they're there to meet him as well. The previous collision where he dropped it led directly to the Pengai try. Now Kontrick playing it. Cook comes to Trbojevic, who takes it across the halfway line. Quite midway through this second half. What a half it's been to this point. Cook for Cherry Evans, showing it, finding Tedesco. 3-on-3. Teddy straightens. They take the fullback down just inside the 30. Last play here. Cherry Evans looking for a result. Something to change the complexion of this game. Maybe that was it. Hopewadi knocks it on. Cook, they say, still the last play. It wasn't off Hopewadi. A kick out wide. Addo-Carr is there, taken dead by Hurrell. They'll get 6 more again, the Australians.
Yeah, Hurrell's come up with some massive plays. Not known for his fitness, but his passion and emotion is giving him the adrenaline to just come up with some monumental plays for his country. Look at this. Addo-Carr, the fastest winger, arguably the fastest winger in the game. Can't get around Hurrell, who shows great desperation.
Jake Trbojevic did well too. It was a perfectly paced kick. He had to turn around and chase Hurrell because he was right on the spot. Addo-Carr, wonderful skills. Didn't panic that time, Jake. A grubber kick in and behind.
What about the defence? The defence of the Tongan side has been up there with the Australian side, which you don't see too often. The Australians so consistent with the way that their commitment is. As you can see there, look at that, 21 missed tackles from the Australians, only 19 from the Tongan Invitational side. It is very rare in a test match that you will see the Australians beaten in this department.
Maybe a bit of experience there from the old Fox, Ronnie Palmer, trainer. Been at many clubs in the NRL. Jumped out there and said to Conrad, hey, just stay down and make sure, I just want to check you to make sure you're okay.
He looked like he needed a rest, but Hurrell, as I mentioned, not known for his fitness. He's been sucking in the big ones.
The Tony Staggs. Drop out. Allowed to bounce there by Addo-Carr. Not gone anywhere, and then his pass over the top of Josh Papali. It's a great result here for Tonga. They'll stop Papali. In fact, he gets an offload away. Clemmer met there by Jennings. He brings it back across the halfway line, but still, they've done well, Tonga, with this 4-point lead. Stopping the Australians only just into their territory.
They've just got to get in that attacking zone, the Australians. Start the second half. A couple of errors coming off their own 20-metre. They need to get down this end and don't panic. They'll go through their plays.
Trbojevic looking for a quick play. The ball from Cook comes to Munster. Too many chances to show what he can do in attack so far tonight. Tedesco going to the line, giving it to White, who's so strong. The Clive Churchill medalist in the grand final. And the losing side playing it. Cherry Evans comes back to the middle. Trbojevic out the back. Cherry Evans under pressure. He lost it, and he lost it forward. Tonga force another mistake.
Yeah, the offload here from Trbojevic back to his partner in crime, Cherry Evans, but Cherry Evans looking to pass before he caught it and just comes up with an error.
Just have a look at how the Tongans just stay up in defence. Generally, when there's an offload like that, players just tend to hang around and wait to get back to 10 metres. Not the Tongans here tonight. They've stayed up in the action. Hurrell again involved in the tackle.
Well, they've been dancing just on 62 minutes, the Tongan fans, maybe long before that in all reality. Oh boy, they'll dance for 24 hours straight if they can come away with a win here against the Kangaroos tonight.
Look at that completion rate. 10 of 11 in the second half, 91%. Look at the Aussies, only 37. This last 18 and a half minutes, the biggest in the history of Tongan Rugby League.
The Australians only 3 completed sets from 8 possessions in this second half after being 16 from 19 in the opening 40 minutes.
Good run.
Taumalola, step. 120-kilogram monster of a man. We'll play it here just short. The 40-metre line. Katoa's still there doing a great job at dummy half.
It's a nice kick.
Across the field. We'll go down to Nick Kotrick, who will pick it up and come back. Doesn't really put the foot down there to ask a question of Daniel Tupou. And it's Whiten to bring it away.
They haven't had too much ball in the... Here he is, Cook. Tedesco. Sniffing around the middle of the ruck. The Australian side haven't been in good field position hardly at all this half. This is their first real opportunity.
Clemmer handled well there. It'll be a slow play, the ball. Alarm bells are ringing when Cook jumped out of dummy half on that previous play with nobody there at marker. Here's Kotrick. Jennings. Numbers in the tackle again. They'll pick him up and take him into touch. What defence by Tonga. It was a red tidal wave that took him across the sideline.
Exactly what I was saying before, how they've stayed up in defence now. Gets the ball on the outside, Kotrick. They hold him up. Jennings, the experience. Have a look at the troops come now. Lift him up, put him in the touch. And again, another error from Australia.
And one of the strongest players on the field, Nick Kotrick, who is 10 metres in the field of play. It just shows their commitment, their willingness, their passion, their pride. So much on the line for this Tongan side, and they are delivering in spades.
Let's go, Adam. Let's wait, mate. Adam, come on. Hit in, Sione.
This is one of the more remarkable international fixtures we have seen for a long, long time. Tonga, this Invitational 13. It is a fully fledged test match. Australia have won 15 of their last 16 test matches against all comers. On the back foot here against a team just full of belief. It's Adam Fanua-Blake. This powerhouse forward pack just keeps on taking metres away from this Australian defensive line. Comes to Taumalola, stepping back on the inside. Silva Havili is back out there now. Links up with Manu Ma'u. A kick through Havili and puts it out on the full. Exactly what they didn't want to happen.
It was the right option to go down the short side and kick it out. And just wind the clock down, regroup, but it was a shocker. A shocker.
Well, I reckon the Australians are giving Haas enough rest. They've got to get him back out there. The game turned on a dime when he came on in the first half. They need to get him back out here now.
Change for the Tongans as well, with Manu Ma'u playing on the right edge in that slot, occupied for most of the game by Ben Murdoch-Masila. There's Papali. Can get the Kangaroos going in the right direction in a hurry. He's done that throughout 2019 for the Raiders, the Maroons in Origin as well. Travojevic inside the 20. 15 minutes remaining. The Kangaroos down by 4. Munster holding it up, giving it to Cordner. A touch there. Mitchell gives it to Addo-Carr. 6 more tackles for the Kangaroos. Here's the Fox going sideways, skipping across the defensive line.
Go right. Although he slowed it down, that's a definite penalty.
Wait, not quick, Damien.
Jennings taking the odds to it there, knowing the Kangaroos trail by 4 and didn't want to fast play the ball against a disorganised defensive line. So he gives away a professional penalty, if you like, and the Kangaroos have it.
The first real time they've been down here.
Here's Travojevic giving it to Cherry Evans. A ball to Desco. Jennings gives it to Tupou. He's away. Plenty of green jumpers, though. They're in cover. A mistake off a set play by the Kangaroos. Tedesco couldn't come up with it.
Well, they rolled the dice there, trying to come up with a big set piece.
Well, sometimes he's got to take the tackle, hasn't he, the halfback for Australia, Terry Evans, trying to move the ball in that sort of collision line. Sometimes you've got to take the tackle. It's only early in the tackle count.
They've only had 1 or 2 opportunities in this second half, and he tried to come up with a miracle play. Look at this. This is big now. This is huge.
Potentially the set of 6 of the game. Taukeaho playing it. Taumalolo. Lola here, whose passing has been great. Again, Ma'u gives it to Lola here. A chance on the left-hand side. A kick. Chasing through. Jennings was there. Kotrick takes it out. 6 more tackles coming up for Tonga.
Oh, he's had a big night, Lola, here. I mean, he come up with only 1 average kick in that first half, but apart from that, his kicking game has been superb. And having an inexperienced half with Katoni Staggs partnering him, he's come up with some huge plays and has really stepped up. And this is a big moment. He had to get this right. No room for error, and he nails it.
Do you know we've been wrapping all the forward pack from the Tongans, and rightfully so, but what a game Jennings has had.
And all of them, Blocker. All of them, 1 to 17, have been unbelievable.
7 of the team have played for New Zealand in Test matches before. 3 have played for Australia, but tonight they are a united force. What a juggernaut they are in this game against the Kangaroos. Leading 16-12, 12 minutes remaining. A full set here from close range as well. And the playmaker, Tui Lola here, playing the game of his life. Here's Avili out of dummy half. For Nua Blake goes to ground. Staggs will come back and clean it up. And straighten things and take the tackle there inside the 20. They lose a bit of momentum. 4 tackles gone in this set. Comes back for Taukeaho. Runs towards Papali. Cherry Evans also there as well. Last tackle. Here is Lola here. A grubber off the legs of Cordner. They need a Tongan to win the race. The Kangaroos take it out of play.
You've got to dive on the ball there.
Get it back.
Still a scrum. Still a scrum.
Cordner did well to get a foot on the kick from Lola here. But either Mitchell or Addo-Carr coming through put a toe on the ball, thinking there was a chance at the other end, and kicked it out.
You've got to dive on the ball here, Latrell.
Can't believe that. That's a strange play. Boyd Cordner comes up with a big play. He stops it, he traps it, and he is desperately trying to get there. He's not quick enough. Latrell just had to dive on that ball.
That's what he's saying. Jump on it. Latrell.
That's a moment. Again.
Well, that's where you've got to put your body on the line there. You must dive on the footy in that circumstance.
Here we go, Block.
Lola here back on the inside for Pangai. One of the destroyers. Scored the try that gave them the lead. He plays it here. 10 metres out. Taumalolo. He plays it quickly. Avili comes across. Taukeaho. Pangai. Then Taumalolo. Then Taukeaho. Is there an answer for the Kangaroos? Pangai once again trying to hit and spin, and he was close as well. Payne Haas got to him, and only the Colossus stopped him from scoring. It comes back to Lola here. Addo-Carr can't stop it from Hopewadi. Here is Hurrell. He takes it to the line. Denied by Cordner. Tedesco was also there. One more play. A wide pass back to the middle. Lola here. They're all looking for a kick. He kicks for himself. Lola here. Tedesco gets there and forces the ball.
Oh, wow.
They're going to have a look to see if he knocked it on here.
Make sure there's no kick interference. And then that we have a knock-on from Tonga before Tedesco grounds it.
No, I think he has an air swing.
Can we go back to the kick, mate, please, and just follow that through?
It's great instincts here from Lolo here. He ran into a brick wall. He didn't know where to go.
No try.
Now, the referee's right on the spot here, so he would have had a great view.
Follows his own kick. Just keep playing this.
Lolo here, he gets close, Payne Haas.
I'm okay with all that,
Let's
mate.
play on. He hasn't touched
Now we
it
just
yet.
need something on the grounding here, mate, please.
Well, it looks to be just the grounding from Tedesco.
There was a touch in the scramble. It may well have been the extended arm, though, of Haas. That touches the ball right there. No touch from Lawler here. Grounded by Tedesco. 6 more tackles coming up, and Lawler here was jubilant, knowing they were getting a goal line dropout.
Well, he's always had unbelievable talent, Lawler here. I remember calling him in the Holden Cup, the under-20s back in the day for the Auckland Warriors, and he was the best player in the comp. And tonight, he has been the best player on the field.
Tell you what he has, he's been calm, hasn't he? Hasn't tried to rush things.
Let's see if he can finish it off.
This forward pack. Something to behold here tonight. It's Taukeaho off the back of the Fanua-Blake run to get the set started. Pangai and Taumalolo will be pouring at the ground, and here is JT. The Tongan tornado inside the 10. Havili from dummy half. He backs himself. He had Ma'u pushing through on his outside. He'll take the tackle. Plays it to Taumalolo. Goes to Taukeaho. He goes close.
Great defence.
It's all he owes.
Oh, desperation. Desperation from the Aussies.
Havili trying to sell a big dummy there for the second time. That'll be the changeover.
Yeah, that's a poor play from Havili. They just had to come up with a kick there. There's a long way to go. You don't want to try and wind the clock down now. There's 8.5 minutes. You can't protect your lead against the Australians. You've got to score more points.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've had a lot of success just sprinting out of the line and putting shots on like that. They've forced the error from the Australians down this end of the field.
They need more points, but the Australians more than likely will score again in this match. I believe they need more points.
They've got to get down the other end first. They've done it tough in the second half, haven't they? The Aussies.
Here's Addo-Carr still inside the 20. 8 minutes remaining. Midway through this set of 6. They come to an edge. Corner stop there. The Tongan defence has just been unbelievable. An all-time performance. It's Vaughan to play it. Last tackle coming up. Still just their own 30. Cook feeds it back. Cherry Evans. Good strike. Hooking it out towards the sideline. Taken, though, on the full by one of so many Tongan stars here tonight. Will Hopewadi. They'll play it. 40 out from his own line. It's Daniel Tupou on the next carry.
You've got to get back here, Tonga. I know they're tired, but they've had most of the possession. And there's not long to go. They've just got to play this last 7 minutes like their life depends on it.
What a 7 days this could be in the history of Tongan Rugby League. They've lost their way here for a moment. They'll beat Great Britain. Waikato Stadium last week. Here they are at Eden Park, leading the Australians close to full time. Fanua-Blake will play it. It should have been a penalty. It's going to be play on. It is a penalty.
You've got to take the 2.
Ooh, you'd have to think about it, wouldn't you?
You've got to take the 2 here. Get it the 6-point lead.
It's 37 metres out.
Yeah, they're going to take the 2 here.
And it's going to be Katoni Staggs playing his second game for this team. You see Frizzell there trailing back through the play the ball. He contacted Fanua-Blake and the ball. And Katoni Staggs from Wellington in country New South Wales will come in to try and make this a 6-point lead.
2. Go for 2, boys.
Want to make sure you can kick it dead if you don't convert it.
Yeah, that's the important thing here, Blocker, is that if he misses, he's got to make sure he puts a lot into it so it does go dead. And he should. I mean, from 37 out, he shouldn't have any problems with that.
Yeah,
taking their time. Bit of a ploy here. Again, Ronnie Palmer right in the middle of it all was.
The old Cougar.
I love the Cougar.
The old Ronnie Palmer, the Balmain charmer.
Good man to have in a situation like this. We will remember this night, no matter what the result here in the final 6+ minutes, for a long time to come. This has been a special occasion, the third of 3 games. The triple header here at Eden Park. Fiji, big winners over Samoa to get things going. New Zealand, a win that they'll remember against Great Britain, but this will be the topper if Tonga can upset the world champs, the highly vaunted Australian Kangaroos. A remarkable result.
Listen to the crowd, boys.
In the making here.
Listen to the crowd.
The pressure on this young man, Katoni Staggs. Distance shouldn't be a problem for him. The strike is a good one. It's away to the right-hand side. They'll get the 20-minute restart, though, and they maintain a 4-point lead. They did use up some time on the clock.
A lot of pressure on the young man to come up with a really big kick. Probably the biggest of his young career. Let's see how they go here.
Mitchell, taking no chances, goes long. Time against the Australians. They'll back themselves to stop the Tongans here and still have time to come down the field themselves. Taukeaho. They have been enormous. Off the back of 200+ metres last week against Great Britain, more than 150 here tonight. Likewise for Adam Fanua-Blake. Taumalolo getting up there as well.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, was the way they've shared it around with their forward packs. They've been outstanding.
Here is Pangai, dumping it out the back and turning it over. He has lived by the sword. He's hoping his team doesn't die by the sword off the back of that push pass.
Just unnecessary pass. You don't throw it unless it's on, and it was not on.
He's had so many offloads in this game, 4 of them, but a couple of turnovers as well. How costly will that one be? Here is Payne Haas, who got the Australians into the contest, and they dominated that brief period. Outside of that, it's been Tonga as Tedesco goes to the line, stopped there by Hopewadi. Again, it was Haas who offloaded in the tackle. Cook for Cherry Evans, searching for a try to level the scores up. Munster pops it all out. The back was forward. Couldn't take the tackle, and Tonga hang on. It'll be a penalty as well, or as he's saying, Tonga scrum feed.
It's going to be a Tongan scrum feed, but this could be the straw to break the camel's back. The pass from Munster. It wasn't on. It wasn't the 5th tackle. He looked like he was going to score. No!
Take the tackle. That's what pressure does. Starting to force the issue too when you're behind on the scoreboard.
Well, when either side has been impatient tonight, it's been costly. It's proved very costly. We saw it with Pangai, now Munster. Possession is king. And this is going to be the case in the next 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Siwa, you need to pack. Don't time waste. Form now.
This is potentially historic. What we are seeing here tonight in regards to the Kangaroos. Their last test loss, Australia, against a team other than New Zealand, Great Britain or England, came 41 years ago, and they were beaten by France 11-10 back in 1978.
Wow.
And here is Tonga.
This is so big.
Inside 4 minutes remaining and leading by 4. Jennings to play it. Surely the message has gone out. No crazy offloads from this point on. Just keep doing what they've done all night so well. It's Taumalolo on the right-hand side, bringing it almost back to the halfway line. Playing it Lola here, down the short side, takes it into touch, and the Australians will have the scrum feed from just outside their 20.
Now they want to rush to the scrum, the Australians, because the Tongans will walk there, try and form the scrum and get some time off. There's the blow of the whistle now.
Everyone here is on the edge of their seats. Taumalolo, that was a big play. It was a quick play the ball, which gave Taumalolo here, time to readjust, have a look up, sum up the situation, gave him time to put that kick in, and now they can have a breather as the crowd. These scenes are just incredible.
Come on, we're going.
Another impromptu hymn breaks out at the break in play. They choose some nails. What a tackle there on Tedesco.
Jennings.
Michael Jennings. If we said Lola here was playing the game of his life, Jennings is right beside him.
If we look at Australia, it's got to be Cook and Tedesco. I mean, Cherry Evans hasn't been on tonight. Neither has Munster. Payne Haas, but you'd think the 9-1 could come up with a big play.
Cook out of dummy half. They need some individual brilliance now from somebody. Frizzell goes forward. Tedesco pushing up right behind the play. Cook is there with him. Tedesco down the short side, wanted the ball. They go open side. Munster knocked down by Hurrell.
Well, that's all right for Australia, I'll tell you.
If he takes that, you'd back him in to just about get there, even with the Fox having to turn and chase.
Such a tough decision there for Conrad to have to make. You know, it wasn't likely that he was going to catch this, so you can't let it go, but he was just in two minds. He would have been better off letting that go. I think they had it under control, and now a full set of six.
Well, they've controlled it so well all night, haven't they?
This
just that temptation to throw the arm out.
Well, will the best side in the world stand up when it matters the most? Will they come up with a clutch play?
It might be their final set of six. To try and snatch this at the death. Payne Haas, as likely as anybody. They'll play it here. 20 out from the Tongan line. Cook comes to Travojevic. Vaughan stopped there in a tackle by Ben Murdoch-Vasila, back now on his right edge. Avirli taking a long time. They lead by 4. He knows they can test the referee's patience. Out the back, Tedesco, cut-out ball. Kotrick is there. Plenty of red jumpers in front of him. Tonga need to be careful not to over-chase on their own line. Tedesco out of dummy half. Tries to do it himself. He almost did. Half a metre short. He'll play it. Frizzell, last tackle. Cook. Munster comes across to Mitchell. Missed there by Fusatua. Mitchell keeps it alive. Still the last. Munster. It goes to Vaughan.
No.
He rubbers off legs. Played it. Numbers for Australia. Cherry Evans. Tedesco. Cut out ball. It goes to ground. Tonga have it. Michael Jennings has it for Tonga. Inside the final 60 seconds. It's play on. Jennings has a cramp. And they are less than a minute away from one of the most famous wins we've seen in Test Rugby League for a long time.
Well, the Australian side had them torn to pieces on that right-hand edge. They just had to find the right pass, but their execution under pressure, when it mattered the most, they couldn't come up with the right pass at the right time. And Tonga, can they hang on? 40 seconds here for the biggest victory in Tongan Rugby League history.
Well, how long since we've seen the Australian side not score a point in the second half?
A ball stripped away by Cordner. It came back to Taumalolo. Penalty, and that should be enough. The celebrations are in full swing at Eden Park. Can you believe this?
I can't. I've got goosebumps, guys.
Great for the game.
So good, isn't it, Blocker?
They scored the first try of the game in the 21st minute. They're going to form a rugby maul to take the tap. Staggs did tap it. He needs to be tackled by somebody, anybody. He goes to ground. That's the voluntary tackle.
What's he doing?
No Australian touched him.
What happened there?
It's time over. Tonga have won. The passion and the power of Tonga has taken down the world champs.
What a victory from the Tongan side. Inspirational, passion, emotional, pride with their country, stirring them on. This has been one of the biggest victories in the history of our game.
Unbelievable.
No, I'm with you, Braith. That is just a phenomenal performance. They didn't panic in the second half, the Tongans. Their defence won it for them. The way that they stayed up and around the ball, inspirational stuff.
This is what dreams are made of. I mean, who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that this moment was going to happen?
Let's go to our panel right now after we hear from Siwa Taukeiaho. The Tongans have beaten Australia 16 points to 12.
Full credit to the fans out here. They've been here since day one, supported us. I want to thank Australia for giving us the opportunity to play against them. Man, feels good to beat all three Tier 1 team.
How long have you and your teammates and your countrymen waited for this moment?
We've been waiting since after the World Cup. We weren't too sure if we were going to get a couple games, but I think, you know, the NRL and also the Australian team gave us opportunity to play against them, and, you know, we took that opportunity, and, yeah, look, we won against all three teams now, so it's good.
Did you always feel like you could beat the world #1, the world champions here this evening?
I'm confident in our team. You know, we've fought really well, fought hard during the last couple of years, and, you know, wasn't really expecting this early, but look, the boys fought really well, and, you know, we don't do it for ourselves. We do it for all these people here that are here to support us.
I'd like to let you celebrate with your teammates, but first to the fans, a message to the fans.
To all our fans, we want to say thank you for being here. This game was dedicated to all you guys, so thank you.
Wow, drink it in. You have just witnessed one of the biggest boilovers, one of the biggest upsets in rugby league history. Unbelievable. Tonga Invitational, too good for the Australian Kangaroos. Australia, this doesn't happen to them, but Tonga, the evolution and the growth of this nation continues. Michael Ennis, welcome back. Greg Alexander, welcome back. I am tingling from
shock,
head to toe. Can you believe it?
Absolutely in shock. I mean, we said pre-game that Tonga would give them a run for their money tonight, but you just thought that the class of Australia would find a way to win, but the defensive resilience, what this side has been through pre-tournament, the way they turned up last week against Great Britain and delivered in Waikato, and then coming to Eden Park in front of thousands of Tongan fans to beat Australia is incredible, Brandy.
Yeah, what impresses me is that they've done it without really regular halves. Lolohea had a dreadful start to the year when he moved to Leeds. He then moved to Salford. Not sure exactly how he went, but, you know, Tui Lolohea's come into this game. He's overweight. He's not completely fit. Kanani Staggs, who played centre for the Brisbane Broncos, has played at halfback. And they're the players that they needed to play well. Lolohea had an outstanding game. And we knew that the big men in the middle of the field would hold their own.
Look at those scenes.
And really, they beat Australia in the middle of the field.
Unbelievable to think that they didn't run out of gas, the Tongan side. They looked like they were out on their feet. They just kept going. But Australia, Mick...
it's unbelievable, Shervo, given the fact that, I mean, look, Papali had, you know, what a season he had. James Tedesco, the best player in the world. It's not like Australia are down on numbers. This is Australia's best side, probably bar Luke Keary, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone was going to be there, maybe him.
They trailed 12-6 at half-time, so you thought the Australians, who really only put together 5 minutes in that opening 40, but that was enough to score 2 tries and take the lead into the half-time break.
Yep.
Tavita Pangai scored a try in the 54th minute. Now, so there was still plenty of time left. Yeah. There was still 26 minutes left, and Australia could not score in that time. And you kept looking at the lineup that the Australians had: Tedesco, Mitchell, Munster, Cherry Evans, Damien Cook.
Yeah.
The stars of our NRL competition could not get across the line.
The middle third of the field was dominated last week by Siwa Takiaho, Fafita, Fanua Blake, Taumalolo, and they've done it this week again. It was ferocious through the middle. The injection of Tafita Pangai, whilst he was loose at times and comes up with a rush of blood, comes up with a frantic offload, he destroyed them at times in that second half. But for Australia, 9 errors in the second half, 18 missed tackles, and a completion rate of 40% just gave themselves no opportunity to stage a comeback.
Yeah, with 20 minutes to go, Australia's completion rate was at 37. Yeah. They were 3 from 8, whereas the Tongans were 10 from 11. So they just kept the pressure on. Latrell Mitchell made a couple of errors coming out of his own end with some heavy defence that dislodged the ball twice. Off the back of those two mistakes, they scored the Jennings try and the Pangai try. So they were able to force mistakes through the ferocity of their defence, but they're also able to take advantage of it and that field position and grab those 2 important tries.
Since 1978, Australia's only lost to England, Great Britain and New Zealand. Top-tier nations, you'd have to say. We spoke in the pre-game about Tonga and their road to becoming a Tier 1 nation. How far does this go to make that happen?
Oh, well, you heard Siwa Takiaho, the captain, say after the game, we've beaten all 3. We've beaten England, we've beaten New Zealand in the World Cup, and now we've beaten Australia. So absolutely they're in the conversation. With the quality of players that they've got in their side, they are certainly, without doubt, ready for that opportunity. What a moment. I mean, for us as Australians, I'm in shock, Sherbo. Like, I'm genuinely in shock. I haven't seen Australia get beat like that. For such a long time. I think they've been beaten by New Zealand, a number of years back. But other than that, it's just so rare. But what a moment for Tonga. As hard as it is, we've got to celebrate that. What a special moment for their country. Such a small country, yet the passion tonight.
Let's hope this win helps sort out whatever problems Tongan Rugby League had. And I know they were called the Tongan Invitational. Let's hope, this victory over Great Britain last week and Australia tonight helps sort out so Tongan Rugby League can go forward.
And if there is a positive that you can take out in some way of Australia being beaten tonight, it's the growth of the game itself, because they've just shown, Tonga, that it is a global game and it's continuing to grow and evolve. We're going to have a quick break. We're going to continue to talk about this match and what it means for Australia going forward, what it means for Tonga as well. But make sure you stick around, especially on Fox Cricket, because there's plenty coming up as the T20 season continues for Australia.
First of all, I'd like to thank the man above for his blessings and for this historical day for not only Rugby League but for all of Tonga. I'd like to thank the Brewers for giving us the opportunity to play against you. You're the best country in Rugby League for a reason, and it was a great game of Rugby League, and safe to say that International Rugby League is in safe hands. Thanks to you guys for sacrificing and allowing us to play against you. So thank you to Australia. To the crowd. Tonight wouldn't be possible without our fans. The real reason why not only myself but all these boys made their sacrifices to play for everyone here. Not only here as proud Tongans, but everywhere all over the world. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to represent you guys and our proud nation. To our sponsors, for everyone that supported Tonga Invitational 13 throughout this last few months. Thank you so much to the board, to everyone back in Tonga, His Majesty himself, and these boys, the staff, the players. I could have been so much proud. I could be proud as a captain to lead a team. alongside Siwa, and also the man who's taking the reins, Christian Wolf. I've never met, he's not even a Tongan, and he goes up above and beyond for not only the boys, but to see rugby league flourish in our proud nation of Tonga. He's been, he's done a lot, not only himself, but guys like Clarkie sacrificing their time and their resources to support the boys and help them perform not only last week, but tonight in front of you guys. So thank you. And oh, sorry, I gotta go. Last of all, boys, thank you to everyone that turned out tonight to help support the game of rugby league. At the end of the day, rugby league is the greatest game of all, and thank you for letting us play for our proud people. Ko tua mo Tonga, ko hoku to whia, o watu.
An unbelievable night, a historic night for Tonga as a nation, for Tongans' rugby league journey as well. And what about that man, Christian Wolf, the coach, has led them to an unbelievable win. And Brandy, when you look at Tonga and the intent they had at the start of this match and what they wanted to do, is it any surprise that they walked away with a win tonight?
Well, you need to make a good start against the Australians, and they did with that try from Will Hopewadi out of dummy half. And it was this period where Payne Haas and Vaughan were on the field that Australia finally looked like a football team because they made a poor start to the game. Tonga really won the opening 20-25 minutes. They did lead 12-6 at half-time, Nick, but then Tonga the only try scorers in the second half.
Yeah, trailing 12-6 at half-time, as you said, Brendy, they needed to come out and start with all guns blazing in the second half. They did that. Tavita Pangai there coming up with a vital 4-pointer that got them in front for the first time of the evening. And, yeah, what a night. I mean, you could just see the raw emotion on all the players and staff. It's a special time for the international game, and you've only got to think back to the courageous decision from Jason Taumalolo and Andrew Fafita a number of years back to really put the Tongan Rugby League football team on the map, and players followed suit, and they're getting their rewards.
Jason giving up the opportunity to play for New Zealand, a Tier 1 nation, of course.
Andrew was in the Australian side.
And Origin.
State of Origin.
So missing out on that, and now I guess it is a reward, a just reward, isn't it? Australia, Brandy, not exactly what Mal Meninga would have liked to have finished the international season with. You've also got the likes of someone like James Tedesco, who's had a brilliant year. He's won everything there is to win. A bit of a sour note to finish the season for him.
Yeah, I guess it would for all the boys, really. For those that, played Origin this year, whether they played for New South Wales or Queensland, but to get the chance to play for Australia. They didn't play great, the Aussies, last week against the Kiwis. The Kiwis were just worse than I thought than what we were. There was a couple of good performances. We spoke about Damien Cook in the pre-game. Jake Trebojevic had a strong game. Tedesco was good for them. But they just couldn't get themselves out of trouble tonight. They didn't help themselves. I remember saying last week the Kiwis gave themselves no opportunity. Well, Australia really took the opportunity to win away by the mistakes that they made coming out of their own end. Just continued to offer Tonga, who were good enough to take advantage of what ball the Australians did turn over. It got extremely close at the end, and Tedesco and Cook and the likes almost pulled it out of the fire, but they just couldn't do it. And I was stunned that they had 26 minutes to score a try and couldn't come up with one.
It's been a long season for both nations. That is it for Australia, for Tonga. That's it for us here at Fox League as well. Are you going to enjoy a little bit of a break?
Looking forward to it, sure.
Are you budgie smugglers or boardies when you go to the beach?
Budgie smugglers,
yeah?
absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
Brandy?
No, I'm boarding.
Oh, you are not.
I'm a footy shorts. I'm footy shorts. I just wear the footy shorts.
Well, what a season it's been. What a 2019 it's been for Fox League.
It's been a great year.
We have done some amazing things, and we've really enjoyed sharing it with you, the viewers at home, and everyone from the Fox League crew as well. Thank you to you. Of course, you can tune in to the Rugby World Cup final. It's on in just a couple of minutes on